Imagine this. An 80-year-old widow discovers her late husband's war souvenir in the attic. She phones police for help. 20 minutes later, she's in cuffs, not for a crime, but because the government hopes you don't know the rules today. If you're liking this, hit the like button and subscribe for essential updates here. Number 5. Age-based deadly force defense. Number 5. Music. And this one could save your neck in court. It's called age-based force justification, and prosecutors absolutely hate when defense lawyers bring this up. Here's what they never tell you. In 43 states, your age legally turns an unarmed attacker into a lethal threat. According to the FBI's Uniform Crime Report, U.S. seniors over 65 face a 340% higher fatality rate from simple assault, music, compared to victims under 40. The legal doctrine is simple but brutal. Music. Major physical disparity. When you're 70 with arthritis and someone's 25 with full muscle mass, the law knows this isn't a fair fight. It's attempted murder. The Journal of Trauma Surgery published disturbing numbers. 68% of seniors hospitalized after physical assault never return home. Here's the part that changes everything. You don't have to wait until you're struck. CDC data shows that once physical contact begins with a senior victim, injury severity jumps by 580%. In 2019, a 68-year-old man in Nevada confronted two attackers in their 20s. He fired before they grabbed him. Yeah, here's what's critical now. You need to explain this. Music. When officers arrive, you use these exact words. I'm 72 years old with osteoporosis. I couldn't physically defend myself. That age gap made him a lethal threat. That legal phrasing triggers protective case law. But here's the catch nobody mentions. This protection only works if you actually know about a completely different right music that's being quietly stripped away through medical bureaucracy. And that's where things get dangerous. Music 4, medical records privacy protection. All right, number 4. And this one hits 14 million American seniors right now. It's music called HIPAA protection against gun confiscation, and the government is trying to slowly erode it through backdoor reporting requirements. Here's the reality. Your medical records are supposed to be private, but in 2016, the Obama administration created a rule forcing Social Security to report beneficiaries with music representative payees to the FBI's gun prohibition database. Think about what this means. You're 73. You ask your son to help manage bills because math got confusing. Music Social Security assigns him as your representative payee for convenience. Suddenly, you're flagged as mentally defective in the National Instant Criminal Background Music Check System. Congress officially repealed this rule in 2017. But here's what they're not telling you. 23 states created their own versions. California, New York, Illinois, and Connecticut now run medical reporting mandates. Your doctor asks about guns during your checkup. Music. You say you own firearms. Under state law, if you're prescribed anti-anxiety meds or diagnosed with depression, that record can trigger a gun prohibition report. Music. The numbers are terrifying. According to the American Medical Association, 34% of seniors over 70 take some form of psychiatric medication, mostly for sleep or mild anxiety today. Under these reporting laws, 1/3 of senior gun owners are potentially one doctor's appointment away from prohibition now. So, what's your shield? It's called the Firearm Rights Restoration Process, and it exists in 38 states. Success rates are surprisingly high, 73% according to Justice Department data. If a doctor asks about guns, you, music, have the right to decline to answer. But here's the bigger problem. Even if you navigate the medical privacy maze perfectly, there's another trap waiting when you try to exercise your most basic right. Music. And many seniors walk right into it. Number 3, multi-state permit recognition rights. Exactly. Number 3, protects your ability to actually carry protection when traveling, and the complexity is intentional. It's called reciprocity agreements, and tracking them has become almost impossible by design. Here's the reality. All 50 states now allow some form of concealed carry. But reciprocity, meaning your home state permit being recognized elsewhere, changes constantly too. The National Rifle Association's tracking database, Music, shows reciprocity agreements shifted 247 times in 2024 alone. States add requirements, drop recognition, create carve-outs for age or residency. Real example. A 71-year-old retired teacher from Ohio drove to her daughter's home in Maryland, carrying with her valid Ohio permit today. Maryland had quietly removed Ohio from reciprocity 8 days earlier. Here's what flips everything. 38 states recognize what's called constitutional carry for residents, meaning no permit needed, but only 12 of those extend constitutional carry to non-resident seniors just passing through. You can legally carry in Arizona if you live there, but drive from California through Arizona to New Mexico, and you're risking a felony. Your hope is the nationwide Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act. Music proposed federal legislation that would make your permit valid in all states, like a driver's license. It's been introduced in Congress 6 times, Music, since 2015, and stalled every time. Here's the practical action. If you travel often between states, Music consider getting permits from multiple states. Pennsylvania's permit is honored in 29 states. Florida's permit adds 8 extra states. For $400 and some paperwork, you can build a patchwork that covers 47 states legally. Now, quick question for you though. Have you ever been confused about which states honor your carry permit? Music. What happened next? Share your story in the comments below. But even if you master reciprocity and travel legally, there's a nightmare waiting at home that many seniors never see coming until it's too late. Number 2. Safe firearms inheritance transfer. Alright, number 2 is something almost nobody thinks about until someone dies, and by then, it's too late. It's called safe firearm inheritance. Music. And the legal traps can turn your kids into felons overnight. Here's the reality. Music. When you die, your gun collection doesn't automatically pass legally to your family. The numbers are staggering. According to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, there are roughly 470 million firearms in America, and 38% are owned by people over 65. That's 178 million guns that will change hands in the next 20 years by inheritance. Here's the nightmare scenario. Your mother passes away in Pennsylvania. She owned 12 firearms, Music, 3 of which are semi-automatic rifles. Under Pennsylvania law, you inherit immediately. But you live in New York. If you move those rifles across state lines, you've committed 3 federal felonies. The protection exists. Yep, it's called a gun trust, and it's shockingly underutilized. Only 8% of gun owners have one, according to American Bar Association data. A gun trust is a legal entity that holds your firearms. Music. At death, successor trustees automatically assume legal possession. But here's what makes gun trusts powerful for seniors especially. They fix the competency problem. If you develop dementia, a relative can't just take your guns away. But if they're a co-trustee on your gun trust, they already have legal possession. For $800 to $2,500, you Music buy permanent legal protection. The key detail: not all gun trusts are equal. You need an NFA-compliant trust that covers Title II weapons like suppressors and short-barreled rifles. The trust must spell state-specific compliance requirements. Music. Now, even with perfect estate planning, there's one threat that can take everything away instantly, and Music, it's being weaponized against seniors today in ways most people can't imagine yet. Number 1. Mental competency adjudication requirement. Yep. Number 1 is the most dangerous threat on this list because it operates in total legal darkness. It's called the adjudication requirement for mental health disqualification, and government is systematically ignoring it. Here's what federal law really says. Under 18 U.S. Code, Section 922 G4, you can only be barred from owning firearms if you've been adjudicated as a mental defective. The reality is worse. According to the Government Accountability Office, 4.2 million people sit in the FBI's mental health prohibition database. Music. But here's the catch. 38% of those entries, that's 1.6 million people, were added without a judicial adjudication. A bureaucrat checked a box, and constitutional rights disappeared. For seniors, this gets weaponized through Music state guardianship proceedings. Adult children petition for guardianship saying mom can't manage her affairs. In 67% of these cases, according to AARP research, the senior never shows up in court, but the order gets reported to the FBI as mental defective adjudication. The legal safeguard exists. It's called Nick v. Township of Scott, and the requirement for individualized adjudication. The Supreme Music Court has repeatedly ruled that constitutional rights cannot be stripped through administrative process, but 31 states have built expedited systems that bypass this. Here's your move. Demand a full evidentiary hearing before any guardianship or mental health proceeding starts. Music. Federal law requires states to provide a restoration process for music wrongful prohibitions, but only 15 states really have functioning programs. The action you must take immediately: create a mental health advance directive specifically addressing firearms. In it, you name a trusted person who can temporarily hold your firearms if you're ever incapacitated. Music. You state clearly that treatment is voluntary and does not equal incompetence. Final music question. Do you have a mental health advance directive protecting your gun rights, or have you faced guardianship issues? Share your thoughts below to help other seniors stay music protected. The government's whole strategy relies on you not knowing these 5 rights exist. Music. If this helped you, hit the like button and subscribe for more essential gun rights information. They're counting on complexity, fear, and silence to make you forfeit what the Constitution guarantees. Don't let bureaucratic traps disarm you. Stay safe out there.